Good afternoon, and welcome to From Invisible to Invincible. This is a community conversation on lymphatic health. Today is a huge day as we gather as patients, caregivers, clinicians, advocates, and researchers to build a new future for lymphatic health. I can't believe we are here. So, thank you all. Importantly, today is a day to acknowledge the strength and resilience of this community. Your voices have made the invisible visible. Today is about collaboration, hope, and action. For too long, the lymphatic system has been invisible in medicine, and you've been telling us it matters. We're listening and we're acting. I'm Kimberly Steele. For those who don't know me yet, I'm the program manager at ARPA-H. It's my honor to moderate today's conversation. To kick off, I'd like to invite ARPA-H leadership, Dr. Tyler Best. Tyler has been with me from day one, and he really is the best. We'd like to have him give us our brief opening remarks. Tyler, take it away.
Thanks, Kim. I'll try to live up to my name. My family's been getting that for years now. Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. We're really excited to welcome you all to the Light and Glide community conversation today. I am the acting mission office director for the Health Science Futures office at ARPA-H, one of four funding offices here, and it's a really pleasure to have you here today. This webinar is an opportunity for you all to come together, share insights and ideas, and spark new actions to drive innovation in health science, and in particular for lymphatic disease and dysfunction, as well as potentially leveraging the lymphatic system to treat other diseases and dysfunctions. About 18 months ago, a year and a half ago or so, I was up in Philadelphia at the Franklin Institute where we announced and had the Proposers Day for Kimberly's first program, the Light program. And in the hall in which we were meeting, on the wall were these paintings of people like Copernicus or Galileo or Isaac Newton. And at the time, I, somewhat in jest, but somewhat seriously, made the comparison to the proposer community, the researchers out there, that we are expecting them to become those great scientists like Newton, like Galileo, to be bold thinkers and innovators and visionaries, that maybe someday their portraits, paintings of them would be hanging on a hall and some building somewhere, because of the way in which they have changed the course of human health. And that's what ARPA-H is all about. We are aiming, and our goal and mission is to change the course of human health, to accelerate better health outcomes for everyone. We support bold, high-impact research and innovative ideas. We take on risk while mitigating that risk with excellent program managers like Kimberly. Light and Glide, the programs launched by Kimberly, represent the spirit of our ARPA-H. She is bringing together creative minds like you all here on this call, bringing together diverse perspectives to illuminate, I'll use some of the light terminology there, illuminate new pathways and help break ground on new ideas, to move these concepts from the water cooler to actual action and capabilities that are going to be in the hands of patients, caregivers, and clinicians. Whether or not you're here to present, to learn, or to connect, your engagement is going to build this community. It's going to make it stronger. It's going to make it more innovative. And we look forward to your involvement in generating and creating that ecosystem. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for your commitment. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Kim. Thank you all again. Really excited to see the outcomes of today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Mark my words, we are going to have some of those researchers that are in Light and Glide up on the walls one day. So A few things for housekeeping before we jump into it. Please keep yourself on mute. And unfortunately, we're not going to have any of you speaking out verbally, but we want you to provide your insights. So for any comments, use the chat. And if you have questions, use the question and answer box, and we'll try to answer some of those questions at the end. Also, check your audio settings if you're having any difficulties hearing us, because we want you to hear us. Okay, so let's jump in. Before we move into our groundbreaking work that our teams are doing, I wanted to take you on a brief journey, one that explains not just what we're doing, but why it matters. Over the next few minutes, I'll share a little bit about my personal family journey. Why? Because the lymphatic system can't wait any longer. It needs attention. It deserves it. And I'm going to share why I'm standing here now as the program manager. I'd like to give those who are in the room right now and not really aware of lymphatics a quick primer on lymphatics, and hope that when you leave this webinar, that you appreciate how important the lymphatics are and then go spread the word. ARPA-H is a two-pronged approach in our programs for lymphatics. We have the light, which will be diagnostics, and the glide, which are therapeutics. Today's focus will be on the light teams, but we launched glide just this week. And so if you're liking this, let us know, because we'd like to bring the glide teams in. Let us know, because we would like to share as the teams progress and share their accomplishments so we can do this more. Then, finally, I'm going to turn this over to our real stars. That is our teams from Light and our Discovery Duos, and I'll share what that program is all about. So, a little bit about our family's journey. And this comes from the perspective as myself as a clinician scientist, a parent, and now this ARPA-H program manager. The true story is about this superhero, my Michael. He is a power of one. That's what the doctors called him. But he's also shown that how bringing everyone together can make a difference. So to start off, I'm a mom. That's the most important thing that I do. I'm a mom to Michael and Matthew. I also, fun fact, was a skater a long time ago. Unfortunately, I ruptured my Achilles tendon before the Olympics, and that kind of ruined the career, but I went off to medical school. And this was me, my first job as a surgeon. Can you find me? Because I'm there. Life was really great, and my career was going great guns at Hopkins. And then I got a call from my mom, and she was concerned. My son, Michael, at the age of 5, had a fever. Then he had a rash. Then he complained of bone pain. He had swelling in places everywhere. He had poor appetite. He had fatigue, and he came home from school with these bruises covered all over his body. We looked for explanations. As a physician, my husband and I, both at Hopkins, we reached out to every specialist that you can think of, but no one had answers. Over 12 months, we went through a lot of scary diagnoses. There's so many I can't even stop to tell you. And then the unexpected. We received the report by reading it ourselves. An MRI report that said that Michael had diffuse lymphangiomatosis. Both my husband and I, as physicians, had to Google it. We turned to Dr. Google. It read that this was a poor prognosis, no cure, and it was characterized by this slow progressive growth of lymphatics. It also caused chylous effusions, and it was associated with lytic bone lesions. What does that mean? The lymphatics invade into the bone and cause the bone to disappear. It also can cause the chest and the lungs to be compressed. The survival we were given was grim. 5 years at most. We would maybe be lucky, 35% survival. We, it was isolating at first. It was blindsiding. We were in a bit of a fog and we were paralyzed, but that only lasted for 24 hours. And then the mama bear came out and I reached out to everyone and anyone I knew. What was recommended is that Michael undergo a biopsy. It made him very ill. He was started on toxic medications. And I was told, don't read about this, Kim. Take care of yourself and your marriage. I was given a list, and here's the list. And I was told that I probably would have to reach out to every single one of these people on the list. And I will share with you, I've reached out to every single one, and I'm grateful for each and every one because they've all contributed. And what I learned was that there are a lot of silos in this space. Not only was it rare, but it was affecting a body system that has gone underappreciated. But this N of one kid was able to bring all of them together. And so I'm very lucky to say that Michael is now 16 and doing well. But I knew I had to do more. If I, as a physician, struggled to understand medicine and how to protect my child, what then was a parent to do that didn't have that background? And I made a promise that I was going to try to do everything I could. And so here we are, guys. We are at the precipice. We have recognized that stunningly still in 2026, millions of Americans remain misdiagnosed or go undiagnosed because there is a critical body system that is hiding in plain sight. What we are learning, though, is that the lymphatic system is a superpower. It not only is our waste removal system, but it's so much more. It allows to maintain our body's fluid balance. It helps with our cognitive health by clearing waste. It helps with nutrient transport. It informs our body and it controls inflammation. It also is responsible for immunity and our defense. So it's a lot of things. It doesn't just support health, it truly defines it. Now, for those who have never heard about the lymphatic system out there, here's a 1-minute brief on Lymphatics 101. Our body has a pump, that's the heart. And every day, 5 liters per minute of oxygenated blood and nutrients from what we eat are sent to all of our tissues at our organs. And that's where there's an exchange of the oxygen and nutrients to every one of our cells. Now, 90% return to the heart through our venous circulation. However, 10% of that fluid seeps out of our arterial circulation and into the space between our cells. That space is called the interstitial space. That space is very important. It's where the lymphatics come into play. That space is what the lymphatics draw that 10% of fluid into. The fluid then moves through our lymph nodes. Our lymph nodes are the security gates. They're our body protectors. And it scavenges for all of those pathogens or toxins and removes them from our body. Then finally, the rest of that lymphatic fluid pumps into the venous circulation through the thoracic duct. Now imagine if the lymphatic system is not working. Our body maintenance of fluid is not there, and our tissues swell, and they don't work properly. So therefore, the lymphatics link to all of our other body systems and are critical for health. And now there is so much evidence and emerging support that the lymphatics are critical in health and disease. Here are just a slew of all the common chronic diseases that the lymphatics have an association with. And surprisingly now, we are starting to see the scientific community note that from Alzheimer's to arthritis, chronic disease is linked to lymphatic dysfunction. And here's the star of the show, guys. This is a magnified view of a lymphatic vessel pumping, just like our circulatory system does. Yet, this tiny vessel is the size of a single hair. So, where was my aha moment? Well, it was when the interventional radiologist put up my son's MRL, that's magnetic resonance lymphography. I knew that a lymphatic system that's normal is what is on the left. My son's is on the right. It's complex, it's diffuse, it's variable, and it is a really hard problem to solve because right now we don't have the diagnostics. And even if we had the diagnostics, there are no treatments except for compression. Well, I say and argue that lymphatics are the last frontier in medicine. We can diagnose and treat heart, lung, liver, kidneys, gut, blood, and skin, all the other body systems, yet the lymphatic system remains invisible. So now, with our programs, thanks to ARPA-H, we need to make the lymphatic system from invisible to visible. And we're going to do it through breakthrough technology in the Light and Glide programs. We're going to solve this and then transform and help with diagnostics and treatments for so many chronic diseases. I'm a believer, from long COVID to obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and immune diseases. And this is going to impact millions of lives. And one day, mark our words, Tyler, we're going to have the researchers up on the wall. I believe it. So I'm bringing to you today Light and Glide and asking you to join us to celebrate, but also we have a lot of work to do. We have Light, which stands for Lymphatic Imaging, Genomic, and Phenotyping Technologies. And the question we ask is, what if we could make the invisible lymphatic system visible? And our teams are going to work on diagnosis through monitoring and biomarker discovery, through improved imaging that is not so invasive anymore. And we're going to also take a giant leap forward for all of the genetics we haven't done before. With Glide, we're going to focus on the therapeutics. This stands for Groundbreaking Lymphatic Interventions in Drug Exploration. And it asks, what if doctors were able to prevent and cure human disease by targeting the lymphatic system? Here, our performers are going to work on two really tough technical areas. One, we're going to restore flow through physical interventions. That might be newer smart compression or proper interventional radiology tools that guide into the lymphatics and are made specifically for the lymphatics. And then in technology and technical area number two, we're going to normalize function through targeted pharmacologic and cell therapies. So these two, as Tyler said almost a year and a half ago, were launched and on purpose in parallel. Why? Because they need to work together, because we need collaboration. And together, we are calling this Operation BOLD, Biotechnology of Lymphatic Discovery. And with my team and all of the performers, we're going to accelerate development. We're going to have a cross-pollination of ideas, and we're going to get to the diagnostics and therapeutics that our community deserves. Now, in recognition of tomorrow being World Lymphedema Day, we have a special guest, William Rapici, Bill, who learned Lymphatic Education and Research Network were responsible for the evolution of World Lymphedema Day and shining a light on lymphatic dysfunction. Before I jump into the video and message, I'd also like to ask for all of the patient orgs that are on with us today, please put in the chat your organization because we appreciate all of you and we all want to work together to solve this difficult problem. And with that, I share Bill.
Greetings to all of our colleagues at ARPA-H. Thank you so much for this opportunity to meet with you today on World Lymphedema Day, March 6th. This is particularly important to us in that we started World Lymphedema Day. I was able to write the resolution that first went to New York State and then was accepted by Senators Schumer and Grassley and brought to the floor of the U.S. Senate. It is now celebrated throughout the world, and part of what the inspiration was for this was patients coming to us and saying that whereas there were awareness days, they needed more than awareness. They wanted treatments and they wanted a cure. And that's where ARPA-H comes in. Whereas for the most part, doctors have ignored this disease because they felt we had given them nothing to do. The translational research that you are on the precipice of funding and securing for the future is going to change things for patients forever. My thanks to Dr. Alicia Jackson and certainly the lymphatic team at ARPA-H, Drs. Kimberly Steele and Joshua Hooks, for all their efforts to move this agenda forward. I now would like to present the 2026 World Lymphedema Day video, which is introduced by our spokesperson, Academy Award winner Kathy Bates, who lives with lymphedema. Thank you.
We support World Lymphedema Day.
Yeah! Here in the UK and everyone present at BLS is proud to support World Lymphedema Day. Hooray! L-E-R-T. We support World Lymphedema Day. Woo!
On March 6th, we celebrate World Lymphedema Day. For too long, lymphedema, lipedema, and lymphatic anomalies have been misunderstood, misdiagnosed, and overlooked. Today, we bring these diseases out of the shadows and into the spotlight to educate, empower, and advocate for everyone living with a lymphatic disease. As the global spokesperson for the Lymphatic Education and Research Network, I stand with the lymphatic community calling for medical breakthroughs and increased research funding that will lead to new treatments and ultimately cures.
We support World Lymphedema Day. We support World Lymphedema Day.支持淋巴水肿日，我们在行动。
We support World Lymphedema Day.
I support World Lymphedema Day.
We support
support World Lymphedema Day.
We support World Lymphedema Day. Yay!
And I support the World Lymphedema Day. Yay!
We support Lymphedema Day!
I support Lymphedema Day.
If we want to win this fight, we need to stand together and educate the world.
Okay, so with World Lymphedema Day happening tomorrow, I wanted to take a moment to appreciate the lymphatic community. The lymphatic community has been advocating for research and change for years, and we recognize your dedication, your passion, and your unwavering commitment to this cause. The community is at the center. And I want to just take this moment to honor all of you. I've been in the trenches with you all. To share, 4 years ago was the start of this journey to here. I interviewed a bunch of lymphatic experts at the Gordon Research Conference while they were all away in Italy. And guess where they are right now today? They're again working towards discovery. Now, with this opportunity that ARPA-H is giving us, I think we can jump leaps and bounds, and I am hopeful, and I hope I'm sharing that hope with you. If you represent, again, an advocacy organization and you are on this call, please put the name of that organization in the chat because we want to organize you. What I wanted to explain and what Tyler had, Dr. Best had mentioned, ARPA-H is uniquely positioned now to take this high risk but very high reward approach that can create breakthrough solutions. And we're moving from there's nothing we can do, I never liked hearing that, to we can see it, we can treat it, and we can transform outcomes. So with that, I would like to share with you our Discovery Duo program. This is the whole reason for this webinar today. As a program manager, one of our mandates is to ensure accessibility and that the technology gets to the patient. Well, right now we recognize lymphatics does not have a market. What we need is to bring the patient's voice into the technology from day one. So the program vision here is a transformative partnership to bring this neglected body system and bring it to the market and show the opportunity. As I mentioned, the problem right now is though the lymphatic system is critical to health, it really remains still misunderstood and underappreciated, as we heard Kathy Bates say. And what that means is that millions remain isolated and feeling alone. We need to change it. And so our approach, Team Bold's approach, is to create the Discovery Duo program, where we ask each of our teams from both Light and Glide to pair an early stage investigator with a patient and or caregiver as the ambassadors. And they are responsible for driving innovation and awareness of this important body system. Together, they are a powerful catalyst to drive those unmet needs into viable innovations. And so with that, I am excited to share with you our Discovery Duo teams from the Light performers, the Light program. And I ask all of you, this is a call to action to get involved. We need your voices now. So as these teams present their work, they're going to be doing a project where they're going to reach out to the community and ask to hear from you. And we're inviting you in. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Joshua Hooks, who is leading our Discovery Duo program, to introduce our first Discovery Duo team. Josh, take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's truly a pleasure to be working with all the Discovery Duo teams as they do this incredibly impactful work. I'm excited to introduce our first Discovery Duo team, representing the prime of 3DT Holdings, which is a small business, Alexi and Catherine. And Alexi will be speaking on their program. Alexi.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Kimberly, for a very great introduction to the program, as well as to our mission. We truly believe that this can make a huge difference in people's lives. We are here representing 3T Holdings in the technical area of biomarkers, and our project is going to focus on raising awareness about different diseases that block the central lymphatic system. Many people and doctors do not recognize these conditions, so often these patients go underdiagnosed and mistreated until finally they go to the right center or find the right physician who's aware of these pathologies and are able to help them. It's very important because early diagnosis can make it lead to much better outcomes overall, and easy to understand resources can make a huge difference in people's lives. Therefore, we would like to invite anybody who has any experience with this to provide their perspective, and we'll be digesting all this information to create an informative website on top of other insights. Next slide, please. So our mission will be to meet with either individuals or focus groups for a 30 to 60-minute session to have an in-depth conversation about their perspective on the disease, as well as available treatments and any suggestions they may have. If you are a patient experiencing lymphedema or lipedema, if you are a caregiver helping with those patients, or a family member who is assisting with these patients, if you are a clinician or a provider of any sort who deals with patients with central lymphatic dysfunctions, and lastly, if you are an industry member or part of the research team that works on these problems, please reach out to us. Your input is very critical. We'll be listening to you, and you'll be directly impacting the information that we provide to everybody else. Our first round is going to last from March through November. Next slide, please. Here are the couple emails for both Catherine and myself. On the right or on your left is the QR code, so please scan it at your first convenience. This will lead you to a Q&A form where you can fill out your information, and then you can expect to hear from us at the earliest convenience. We will be providing also general updates as we collect more and more information and get better insights into the situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexi. And as Alexi said, for all of these presentations, please feel free to scan QR codes at the end of the talk or capture the point of contact information. I'm excited to introduce our next Discovery Duo team representing Columbia University. You can see the full team here, but the Discovery Duo speaking will be Megan Perez and Liz Beauvais.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you taking the time to unmute me. I'm not sure if Liz was able to be unmuted as well, but thank you for the time today. We're really happy to present our project Clarum to you all today. And I am Megan Perez. I'm serving as the Jedi, and I'm partnering with Liz Beauvais, who is our bridge and has been diagnosed with a complex lymphatic malformation. We will be presenting on our project today, but just to introduce the rest of the team, it includes Carrie Schauber, who is our principal investigator, Melissa Stosik, who is our product development lead, and Jess Giordano, who is a co-I. We aim to improve access to genetic testing for primary lymphatic anomalies, and the challenges that we are facing is that it currently can take 4 to 8 years for a primary lymphatic anomaly diagnosis. And importantly, current therapies for primary lymphatic anomalies are guided by a patient's genetics. Now, unfortunately, most patients are unaware of genetic testing or do not have access to providers who can request genetic testing. And therefore, Our Discovery Duo team wants to understand and then generate solutions to the hurdles that are there to incorporating genetic testing into primary lymphatic anomaly care. Next slide. In order to better understand these hurdles and to incorporate genetic testing into primary lymphatic anomaly care, we plan to hold voice sessions and gather information on challenges that are faced throughout the diagnostic journey. So, any knowledge of genetic testing or genetically guided therapies and the experiences of those who have been offered genetic testing. We will be seeking patients ages 18 and older who've been diagnosed with a primary lymphatic malformation, and then caregivers of someone who has a primary lymphatic malformation, including parents of a child or spouses or siblings. And then we are interested in speaking with a variety of clinicians who treat lymphatic malformations. Next slide. Thank you. So the voices of our community members will directly inform how genetic tests are brought into everyday care. And our study is currently being reviewed by our institutional review board. And then once it is approved, we will be inviting patients, caregivers, and clinicians to share their experiences and to shape how genetic testing is delivered in real-world care. If you do have any questions or want more information, we have included a contact email for you there in the meantime.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
Happy to introduce our next Discovery Duo team, representing the Hospital for Special Surgery, and their program is called Lymphogene. The Discovery Duos is Cynthia and Mir will be the speaker. Mir?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be here. So I'm part of the Hospital for Special Surgery Discovery Duo, and I currently work as a postdoctoral researcher in Dr. Teresa Liu's lab, where I study lymphatic dysfunction in lupus. And I have the pleasure of working with Cynthia Hudson, who is an educator as well as a breast cancer survivor and active patient advocate for lymphedema. So our research team at HSS is interested in improving the ability to predict who may develop lymphedema by developing a polygenic risk score that we are calling gene load. And this risk score will be based on just genetic susceptibility to autoimmune conditions, as there is a known functional connection between autoimmunity and lymphatic dysfunction that is becoming more and more clear in research. So the tools we are using to develop this are publicly available genetic databases of different ancestries to identify potential associations and then to validate this gene score in a new separate cohorts of patients. So as the Discovery Duo team, we understand that the challenge of early diagnosis for lymphedema is not just a lack of tools, but patient awareness of existing or developing tools. And additionally, these tools are often developed without incorporating patient voices that includes diverse lived experiences, needs, and usability concerns. And currently, patients and doctors will often talk to each other, and researchers and doctors talk to each other. But our goal is to act as middlemen to increase the conversations between patient and researcher. And we hope that through our Discovery Duo work, we can bring back to our research team patient-centered concerns, and that this will then shape our technology design, regulatory planning, and implementation so that the tool is accessible, more trusted, and patient-centered. Next slide, please. So to go about our goal, we will be holding voice sessions where we first emphasize the confidentiality of these sessions, as well as acquired consent for recording. We hope for these voice sessions to be conversational and centered on patient lived experiences. Our questions will focus on barriers to diagnosis ranging from physical accessibility to financial accessibility, as well as address knowledge and education gaps of lymphatic disease. And we will be reaching out to patients and a range of healthcare providers, including genetic specialists, but also caregivers, advocacy organizations that work on lymphedema and lymphatic disease. So please let us know in the chats. Next slide, please. And so we really want to emphasize that it's your voices that are grounded in diversity, inclusivity, and accessibility that will reduce bias, improve equity, and make our tool more accurate and effective for real-world care. And Cynthia and I and the entire team at HSS are incredibly excited and honored to be part of this initiative, and we hope that you will be a part of it as well, too. So please look forward to us reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mir. Our next team is the Discovery Duo pair from Stanford University, Anita and Kathy. And I believe both are here to speak on their work. Kathy or Anita?
Oh, hi. Thank you. So my name is Anita Mohan, and I'm presenting with Kathy, our patient partner. We are the viewfinders. And our technical area is imaging with a focus on MR lymphangiograms and advanced sort of methods for evaluating the lymphatic system for diagnosis and treatment. So some of the biggest challenges we have is that one is to raise awareness and education in the role of imaging in an MRI in lymphedema management. And then there's scope for improving patient experiences, their expectations, not only just with the imaging, but how, for me as a physician, translating those results to the patient, so their understanding of the disease, and how other practitioners may also use that imaging to help guide and monitor disease progress. Next slide. So we at Stanford University are going to do surveys and voice sessions, and this will be both for individuals and groups. And as mentioned, our questions are related to explore topics on the diagnosis, the education, the awareness, experiences, as well as access, and what those challenges are for patients and barriers, both for the physicians in the community and patients themselves, and us as practitioners. And so we have a wide range of stakeholders within our community that we want to speak with. Firstly, starting with our own patients, and then also the clinicians who treat or may see patients suspected of lymphatic diseases. And then exploring in the MRI focus, the radiology schedulers, technicians, the hospital organizations, and last but not least, organizations that either have advocacy or work with patients, such as ChildLife and organizations like Learn. And so all of that input and broad scope will help us try and design what tools are and what the gaps are for MRI protocols, how we can improve that experience and design our new MRI technologies. And we'll use that information to help work with our own research team and guide the technologies that they are producing, and hopefully get that technologies into patient care, translated for the betterment of lymphatic management. And so our scope is that the initial sessions will be running through the rest of this year. And I'll hand it over to Kathy now for the last slide.
Hi, Kathy. Are you able to unmute your microphone? Oh, again, similar to the other presentations, please feel free to scan the QR code to learn more about Stanford's specific efforts for patient engagement and for patient-informed technology development. And with that, I think we can move to the next team.
Josh, can I just jump in and give a shout out to Kathy, because she is one amazing patient ambassador, and at some point we will introduce her to this community. Okay, on to the next.
Thank you, Kim. And from the Discovery Duo team, we're giving you access to your microphone. If you can just unmute yourself once your slides come up. So next up, we have the Discovery Duo team from University of Alberta, led by Eileen and Amy. And I believe Priscilla Machado, also part of this team, is here to present on this effort as well.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. So yeah, we're part of the University of Alberta. There's other universities as well, Duke University and Thomas Jefferson University, where I'm from. I'm a radiologist of some research, and I'm cooperating with the clinical portion, helping Eileen, that's our Jedi, and Amy, our bridge, our patient advocate. Eileen is here with us today. Amy is sick. She's recuperated from a surgery and she's getting better. She'll be here soon. So our main issue that we think about, a lot of people talk about, is the fact that it's invisible. People don't really it takes too long to get diagnosis. You go through several specialties until you get there. The imaging itself, it's complicated, it's inconsistent. There is a really long wait list for MRL, for all the other things. So where our group is working, it's an ultrasound and ultrasound contrast agents, and also to do super resolution of photoacoustics. So what we're trying to do is use the ultrasound that you regularly get for other organs, liver a lot of times, OBGYN, and actually work in a 3D way to map the lymphatic system. And working with bubbles, we can use the super resolution technology to map it out individual bubbles so we can get to that part. And since there is an ultrasound technology, it's easier to implement. It's easier available than other technologies. Please, next slide. So our voice sessions, why we need you. We wanted to understand what the patient experience it is. We wanted to understand, we believe that there is a way that we can put it together, education, we can put it together, our patient experience about how difficult it is to get the diagnosis, what the specialists work to get to there. Also, with the healthcare and caregivers, like how is their experience with healthcare? Are they getting the enough information? So we need to talk with you guys because we wanted to move things forward and get a better understanding of how can we work together to get an imaging modality that's easier and it can get to that point and what is you actually need. Thank you. Next slide, please. So here's the contact information. So it's my email, Eileen, that's our Jedi email. Please contact us. We are located here, Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia. Part of our Discovery Duo, Amy, University of Alberta in Alberta, Canada. Feel free to contact us wherever you are, and we wanted to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priscilla. Our next team is the Discovery Duo team from representing University of Arizona College of Medicine, Mitchell and John, and I believe Mitchell will be presenting on their efforts. Mitchell.
Yes, thank you, John, Kim, and all 100+ of you that have shown up today. This is incredible, amazing turnout. So I'm Dr. Mitchell Bartlett. I am the director of the Surgical Biology and Lymphology Laboratory here at the University of Arizona, and I'm the Jedi for this project for Team Arizona, and John Black is our bridge. So from a scientific perspective, I mean, we all know that lymphatic disorders are affecting hundreds of millions of people worldwide. But one of the issues that we're running into here, as we know, is that some of the more standard current imaging modalities like lymph scintigraphy, MRI, ultrasound, at times somewhat fall short in providing the necessary detail to really inform physicians to make reliable diagnoses, and this can lead to misdiagnosis and other poor outcomes. So from a scientific perspective, our work is primarily focused on developing a new modality called phase change ultrasound lymphography, which will have a much greater resolution mapping of lymphatic structures, hopefully leading to better outcomes. That work is primarily led by our PI, Dr. Russell Whitty, and then we're doing this initially in test beds and preclinical models under the support of Dr. Marlise Whitty, who is a living legend and self-proclaimed lymphomaniac who's been in this field for decades. So we're here primarily to help individuals and their families who have lymphedema, who are affected by lymphedema, and try to better educate and guide them through sort of the imaging side of things and try to help them get better educated, better resources, better accessibility. So next slide. So like many, we will have some 60-minute conversations for free response, talking with patients, and primarily we're looking to talk to individuals who have lymphatic disorders, so patients, as well as caregivers, because it's incredibly important for us to, understand what they know, what they don't know, and to be able to best provide services to support their family members and support themselves. We also especially want to talk with clinicians, and a big part of this is to figure out, what they do know about imaging options, what they don't know, and then work with them to try to guide and better design our technology to make it more accessible. So next. And so like many have said today, and so I'm just reiterating, but is that everybody's voice matters. We are here to help. We're really excited about partnering with ARPA-H and Light and Kim and Joshua and everybody on the team. There's too many to mention, as well as everybody else who's working in the other teams. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll also put my email in the chat.
Thank you, Mitchell. Really appreciate everything that you're doing. Our next Discovery Duo team is representing the University of California, Irvine, and we have both Isabel and Tiffany on the call with us today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isabel Lee, and I am the lab manager and researcher in Dr. Cholson Jang's lab at UC Irvine. And I am the Jedi of the Discovery Duo, and I'm very excited to be part of this project and to be working alongside Tiffany Nakla, who is our bridge or patient advocate. And Tiffany, you can introduce yourself if you'd like.
Awesome. Well, hi everyone. My name is Tiffany Nakla, and I'm the patient advocate, as Isabel mentioned. And I'm also a fourth year medical student at Toro, Nevada. And I am planning to specialize in interventional radiology. So, having actually personal kind of lifelong experience with lymphatic disease, specifically Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome, I am super honored to be part of this project. And I'm just so excited to gain incredible and invaluable insight from our voice sessions with our patients and medical students, medical professionals, and lymphatic disease advocates across the world. And I believe that we'll truly be able to bridge these patient experiences and scientific advancement of diagnosis of lymphatic disease.
Thank you, Tiffany. So Team UCI is focusing on biomarker discovery and imaging. And as several teams may have already mentioned, our existing technologies for diagnosis of lymphatic disease fall short in many different ways. And our goal is to broaden some of these shortcomings by developing a non-invasive imaging technique to quantify lymphatic flow rates and assess thoracic duct obstruction. And this technology, paired with blood biomarker discovery, we think will greatly improve diagnosis and management of lymphatic related conditions.
And on top of this development of the technology, we also want to gain insight into how medical education and training address the lymphatic system and bridge that gap between patient experiences and our future healthcare providers. Next slide, please.
So, as we previously mentioned, Team ECI wants to have a very robust understanding of patient voice and patient experience. It's very important. So, we need you. And we are very eager to have one on one conversations with you in about 1 hour long sessions. And we're just very excited to hear from you because it's entirely um, your input that will influence how our proposed technology develops, especially if those listed under who should join us, and especially for our medical students, healthcare trainees, or anyone who can really help us get a big picture of how the lymphatic system is advocated for in education and training. Because our end goal for these voice sessions is in part developing maybe like a short lecture series that we can facilitate around institutions, universities to give lymphatics a voice. And we would be so grateful to hear from all of you. Next slide, please.
So feel free to contact anyone from Team UCI if you're interested in participating in any way, and all of our emails are listed in the slide. If the voice session is too big of a commitment, we are also happy to do surveys as another medium that we would still be able to hear from you and get your input. The QR code on the screen takes you to a Google form where you can briefly introduce yourself and you can provide us your direct contact information. So we'll be adding it to our list and we'll be in touch with you as soon as we can. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel and Tiffany. That was great. Next, we have our Discovery Duo team, Derek and Lori, representing the University of Pennsylvania. And I believe we have Lori on the call to speak through their efforts. Is Lori or Derek on the call? Oh, mic issue. 1 second.
Well, you're working on the mic issue. I just wanted to jump in and say, are these Discovery Duos not amazing? And I just want to thank everyone. Your voices are important, and the impact is going to be huge.
I'm here now.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, got a little
Lori.
tech issues. All right, my name is Lori Core. I am the bridge for the University of Pennsylvania team. Extremely passionate about this project. My husband was diagnosed with a very rare lymphatic disease 6 years ago and was referred to hospice 3 times because nobody knew how to treat him. And so we finally were able to access the care team at the University of Pennsylvania, and they saved his life. So very passionate about that. Our program is working on imaging techniques to help characterize and manage rare lymphatic disorders. we are aware that lymphatic disease is extremely nuanced, and there's a huge lack of knowledge regarding the disease process, limited access to providers and testing, which makes diagnosis and treatment extremely difficult, which we experienced firsthand. Many lymphatic diseases are not diagnosed early due to lack of knowledge, symptoms that overlap, and lack of resources. And our main goal is to provide education to both patients and providers to get timely diagnosis and expand access to care. Next slide. So our voice sessions are going to be set up. We prefer one-on-one or a small focus group. They will be up to 60 minutes. Topics will include you sharing your story with us regarding barriers that you had to access care, the symptoms that might have been missed that had been there for years, what you need from us as a industry that would help make it easier for you, and just help make us aware of what you need. We're looking for patients with rare lymphatic disorders, specifically more in the central lymphatics regarding like hyelocystis, plastic bronchitis, protein-losing enteropathy, central lymphatic obstructions. That is one area that is very underserved, and we are just hoping to bring access to care to everyone who needs it, whether you're in a rural community or you're in a big city. You will help shape these programs, and we are just excited to improve patient care and their families. Our voice sessions will be starting hopefully by the end of the month, and our first group of sessions will be through the end of June, probably a little bit longer than that. Next slide. And so here's a QR code if you would like to join us. I'm working with Dr. Derek Rosario, who is the most incredible researcher. He is so passionate and willing to help, and it has been a pleasure to be a part of this team. So if you go ahead and sign up, we will send you details about our upcoming sessions and your availability so we can meet. And I just want you to know that your voice matters. And for so many years, I have been the voice for those who don't have one. And that is why I could not be more honored to be a part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori. Lori is truly a rock star in terms of getting the lymphatics front and center. So I appreciate you being involved in this effort. Next up, we have the University of South Florida team, led by Meng and Christine, and I believe both are on the call to talk through all that they're doing as part of the University of South Florida's project.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Meng, and I'm the JEDI for the Discovery Duo, part of the team CLAM, which stands for the Collaboration for Lymphatic Innovation in Multi-Omics and Biomarker Discovery, based at the University of South Florida. Christine Meister is our Discovery Duo bridge, and she is a lower extremity lymphedema patient, and we are so happy to have her in our team. So let me start with the challenge we are here to solve. Right now, there's a limited and inconsistent awareness of the lymphatic disease among the healthcare professions and even the medical educators. So what does that mean for the patient? It means that someone living with the lymphedema or another lymphatic condition often faces significant delay in the diagnosis. And without a timely diagnosis, they can't get the right treatment when it matters most. So our goal is to change that. We want to improve the awareness across the entire ecosystem, from patients to providers to educators, so that the people get diagnosed earlier and have access to the more accurate or effective therapies. So to do this, we are focusing on biomarker discovery, developing better tools to detect lymphatic insufficiency earlier and more accurate. So next slide. How are we going to make sure our work actually reflects what patients and families need? We are hosting a 60 minutes voice session, and this is where you come in. These are conversations where we will ask questions like, how does lymphedema affect your everyday life? And what kind of barriers have you faced in getting a diagnosis or treatment? What do you wish you had known earlier? We wanted to hear from patients age 18 or older who have been diagnosed with lymphedema, caregivers, especially patients of children with lymphedema, advocates, and educators working in this space. And clinicians, whether you are experienced with lymphedema or just starting to learn about it. Why does your voice matter? Because your input will directly shape how we design the future diagnostic test. We are not building this in the lab alone. We are building it with you. So our first round of session will run from March through November 2026. So there's a plenty of time to get involved. Next slide. So here's how you can be part of the solution. You will see the QR code and go ahead and scan it with your phone. It will take you to our sign up page and the healthscholar.usf.edu and Brazil Lab. You can also reach out directly to me or my teammate, Christy. Our emails are on the slides also. So sign up. You will get details about upcoming voice sessions, and more importantly, your voice will help shape the future of lymphedema diagnosis. We truly cannot do this without you, so please scan the code, sign up today, and let's build a beautiful future for the lymphatic community together. So thank you.
Thank you, Meng Meng. Next, we have the Lantern team representing Weill Cornell Medicine, and the discovery duo is Suhi and Alexa. And I believe both again are here to present on their project.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sahi. I'm the Jedi ESI for the team. My background is mostly in biomaterials, stem cells, tissue engineering. Now I'm a postdoc. I look at the effects of aging on the lymph nodes. And Alexa Ercolano is the bridge for our team. She is a lymphedema patient. She also works as a marketing specialist for a pneumatic compression pump company, and she runs a blog called The Lymphy Life. So I think we've heard over and over that it's really hard to diagnose lymphedema, and some of the methods used clinically are as archaic as like just measuring limbs, which is not really reproducible, and it's not standardized, and it's not rigorous. So looking at to develop biomarkers that are we're able to test on platforms that have scale up and high throughput is one of our technical aims. And we also are really looking to understand or really create genetic and epigenetic profiles of lymphedema, which would allow us to have more rigorous, reliable, and importantly, standardized ways to diagnose. So from the discovery duo side, we want a better understanding of patients and their hesitancy or lack of desire to participate in clinical trials, because we can develop all of these technologies as much as we want, but at the end of it, if we're not able to engage patients as partners in clinical trials, then we never get past having just developed them at the bench, and we never get to the point where they actually benefit patients. So we want to understand that barrier. We want to understand how patient participation ultimately strengthens our ability to identify these biomarkers and epigenetic and genetic profiles. And we want to also help clinicians and scientists better explain their work, because we think that that will make patients more willing to engage in clinical trials. So our ultimate goal is to translate our insights into tools that enable earlier detection and better patient outcomes. We're ready for the next slide. And I think Alexa is unable to unmute her mic. Oh, okay.
Thank you, and thanks for helping me get on here. So as mentioned, in order to do all of the great research we've been hearing about this afternoon, we need patients to participate in the research with the clinical trials, but those can feel intimidating, as Sahi just mentioned. So that's why Team Lantern needs you. Whether you're someone living with lymphatic disease, you care about someone who does, or you're a clinician, or you're a researcher, or even if you're involved in the industry side, we'd love to chat with you to better understand how to engage patients as active participants in lymphatic research. These confidential hour-long meetings would involve questions like, when you think about joining a clinical trial, what concerns or hesitations come up for you? Or how do things like time commitment, cost, travel, or impact on daily life factor into your thinking? So pending our IRB approval, our initial sessions will run from March through November 2026. Next slide, please. And we really, really can't do this without you. Again, if you'd like to participate in our voice sessions or receive the surveys that will come out, or even to get updates, please visit tinyurl.com/lanternvoice or scan the QR code on the screen and we'll be in touch. And we want to thank you in advance for considering participating and for doing your part in developing this technology and helping our awesome and strong patient community. Thanks.
Thank you to you both. And last but certainly not least is our Discovery Duo team from Rice University. Rice truly has a team approach with several both early stage investigators and patient advocates. But here today, I believe, is Shuyan and Sina.
Hi everyone, my name is Xueyan and I'm so excited to be here presenting our Discovery Duo team with standing based at Rice University. Our team includes myself and two postdoc researchers, Sina and Vijisa, along with two absolutely incredible patient advocates, Chelsea and Heather, and we are so grateful for them. And why does our work matter? Right now, patients with lymphatic condition are waiting years for answer, being dismissed, misdiagnosed, told when we don't know or we are not sure. And that's not okay. We are building our withstanding new photoacoustic imaging system and a biomarker platform to change that, to see and understand the lymphatic system. And the most important part, we can't build it without your input. That's exactly what our voice session about. And I'd love to hand it over to my colleague Sina, who will walk you through how you can get involved. Next slides, please.
So the Rice team is interested in a wide kind of variety of different groups and stakeholders, from patients with lymphedema and complex lymphatic anomalies to caregivers, advocacy organizations, clinicians, researchers, and really anyone who's interested in learning more. Again, they're focused on both developing new lymphatic imaging approaches and biomarkers for detecting lymphatic dysfunction. They anticipate beginning their stakeholder engagement this month, and it will go through 4 different rounds lasting until September of 2027. And here on the left hand is QR code. Again, if you're interested in any of these technologies or believe you have some experience to share that'd be useful to the team, please scan and share your information. And we're looking forward to working with as many different stakeholders as possible.
Hey, fantastic. So that ends our presentations from our Discovery Duos, everyone. I'm going to show you a video that our amazing comms team put together that hopefully will go out and you can share it across the world. Again, to go back to our Discovery Duos. As a reminder, as a program manager, we're mandated. It is important to ensure that technology gets to the patient. And different program managers are attacking this in different ways. This way came from my own personal experience in which I needed to do something. As a surgeon, we like to fix things, and I couldn't fix this quick enough. So I reached out to a basic researcher, and together we worked together. And that became the dynamic duo. And so we've called these folks our Discovery Duos. They are volunteering their time. They are working to ensure that the technology that their team, that they're representing, makes it to all of us, to the community. And just as a reminder, we've been using these acronyms. Government loves acronyms. So the JEDI stands for, and I had to get our team to look it up, Jumpstarting Early Career Discovery and Innovation. That is our early investigator. And we brought early investigators in, as you can see, from a wide vast of fields, from medical students to postdocs and people outside of the lymphatic community. Why? Because we want to bring them in, expose them to the lymphatic system, and then grow an army of investigators that will never turn away from lymphatics again. On the other hand, we also recognize we need to bring the patient's voice in early. When I sat in the lab, there were things even I, as a scientist and physician, didn't understand. But what I brought and what I saw was the patient experience, what I saw through the eyes of a parent. And so our bridge stands for beneficiary, representative, informing development, and guiding engagement. They are the bridge to the discovery and the ones that will ensure that the technology does get to the clinic. And with that, I thank all of you. These are our 11 light teams and our discovery duos showcasing what we hope in the future will bring to the clinic. And with that, I'll share this video that our comms team put together specially for this event. What if we could make the invisible lymphatic system visible? The lymphatic system is critical to our health. It's a complex and intricate network of vessels that occur everywhere in our body. And they lie, these lymphatic vessels, at the intersection of both our immune system and our circulatory system, the arteries and veins. Because we lack easy, accessible, safe, and accurate diagnostics to assess the health of our lymphatic system, potentially millions of Americans are going undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. And because of that, we aren't catching the diseases early enough. And by the time we do catch them, when they manifest in some physical form, it's often too late to even intervene. This program aims to create a set of novel diagnostic tools that will shine a light on the lymphatic system in both health and disease. What if doctors were able to prevent and cure human disease by targeting the lymphatic system? As an academic myself, it took a lot to understand exactly what ARPA-H was looking for. They wanted bold and revolutionary ideas, really tough problems that had not been solved because it hadn't been tried. I left my career because I wanted to help the researchers accelerate and advance the field. But as I even learned more about the lymphatic system, I realized how very important the lymphatic system is and how by targeting it, we might improve not only these ultra-rare diseases, but so many common chronic diseases. That's what ARPA-H was trying to do, to look at the areas in medicine that if we tried, we could solve really tough problems. And the lymphatic system and the underlying lymphatic dysfunction is a really tough problem to solve. So with that, and in closing, for now, I'm really grateful that ARPA-H has heard the importance of the lymphatic system. We are just at the beginning, and the journey is just starting. As a program manager, we're asked, what does success look like? And this is what I presented. In 5 years, I believe that our teams, Light and Glide, will bring both lymphatic diagnostics and therapeutics, that we will have early detection, that we can then prevent the diseases and have treatment options that are safer and more effective. I also believe that not only will this be for the lymphatic specific diseases, but for helping with so many chronic diseases that include heart failure, chronic kidney disease, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, and cancer. And then in 10 years, with your help, we're going to have a new field, guys. It will be the field of lymphatic medicine. And this once invisible lymphatic system will be no more, but it will sit just like all the other body systems. In fact, it might even be more important. And that the lymphatic system will be part of every clinician's routine assessment of and treating chronic disease. We're at a revolutionary moment right now, and it's because all of you are going to help us with that voice for any naysayer out there that the lymphatics are critical in health and disease. With that, I would like to ask my team, because I couldn't do this without you. If you're there, please say hello to everyone. This is Team Bold, everyone. These are our subject matter experts that help me day in and day out to get the programs out, to help with our teams, to lead our teams, and to ensure that our teams are successful. With that, I see Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Yeah. Well, nice to meet you all again. I'm Joshua Hooks. My background is in bioengineering, and it's been a pleasure to support Kim as a technical contractor on the lymphatic system specifically. I was trying to see who else. Maddie?
Hey, sorry, I realized that Jenny and June don't have access to hop on, so I'm trying to make them presenters right now. But hi, I'm Maddie McQuaid. I'm the team's business financial manager. Happy to be here. I think Jenny and June should have access now.
Okay.
Now I do. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm another CETA supporting Kim's Bold team, Team Bold. And my background is biomedical engineering. I work with early stage technology companies, and this seems like really early stage. So I look forward to seeing a lot of commercial successes down the line as well.
Hello, everyone. Shouting out from Bay Area, California. It's been such a great pleasure working with everyone. As I noted in the chat, thank you all for your time today and hearing your stories and coming forward with your stories. It's been truly an honor to hear them as we work on this portfolio to present solutions for you. With that, Kim?
Okay. And that is our team, guys, that have helped build these programs. And we look so much forward to being able to come together on more occasions. If you like this, we want to hear from you because we'd like to present our Glide Discovery Duo teams and much more, including our successes. One question. Okay. And with that, I wanted to thank you for being a part of the lymphatic community and thank you for attending. We have a few minutes for questions. Only one came through. If you have more, let's hear them, put them into the question and answer. But one of the questions that came through, a lot of the teams seem to be working on same goals, areas of focus. What is the reason for that? So, great question. ARPA-H is a agnostic viewpoint. They are not looking for one specific disease at all. In fact, when I pitched to ARPA-H, I pitched that it's the lymphatic system that's a difficult system. However, when we take technology, we have to have use cases for the FDA to approve things. So many of these teams were asked to come in and choose one common disease and one rare disease, for example. In the LIGHTS case, the diagnostics, many focused on lymphatic specific diseases because those are the ones affecting the lymphatic system. Now, that doesn't mean that technology cannot be transitioned to other diseases, and that's what we plan on doing. This is very different than other funding agencies, and we didn't really explain that, but I will jump into that. For many of the traditional funding, these are called grants. We give out money, the scientist works for a year, and then sends in their progress report. That science is mainly the basic science work, and it tends to be incremental. Whereas ARPA-H is an award, it is a contract. These teams sign up for work. Just wait till they talk to you about how hard this is. They have very defined milestones and metrics that they must meet each month. And our team meets with them each month so that we ensure their progress leads to success. It's kind of like a collaborative competition. And so, what was so motivating for me as a parent in the trenches, everything was so incremental and moved so slowly. And I didn't like to hear, we can't do it, because I know we can. So now, with the help of ARPA-H and the support of funding, our teams are going to try to take those giant leaps. And while you see that many are focused on, for example, lymphedema or primary lymphatic anomalies, that is their use case, and they will be transitioning that technology to others in the future. When we talk about GLIDE, you will see that there is much more than the lymphatic diseases. Not that they're not important, but we are focusing on chronic diseases as well. If you follow us along, we have other opportunities too. Early on, when I started, we had the Sprint for Women's Health, which focused on brain health, women's brain health, and we focused on the lymphatic system. A year into it, we have teams that are diagnosing and have biomarkers for Alzheimer's disease. We have at-home monitors to measure the sleep clearance during your sleep to measure how well your lymphatic system is actively working at nighttime. We also have therapeutics working on stroke, migraine, and also Alzheimer's disease and lymphatic malformations. So we haven't forgotten anyone. And soon, if anyone had seen out there, we have our emerging health innovators teams that will be focusing on infectious diseases and how those pathogens leverage the lymphatic system so that for their own good. And how do we then look at the mechanisms that underlie those infections and translate it to therapies moving forward? So I went down a rabbit hole, but I hope that answered your questions. We are at time. I got the signal. I hope that everyone enjoyed today. This is only the beginning. We have a lot of work to do, but we got here. And I'm grateful for each of our 11 light teams. I'm looking forward to presenting our GLIDE teams. We have 8 of them. Follow us. Reach out to us at light@arpah.gov if you have questions. And in the future, we hope to do more of this and bring the community together. I'm not sure what that says, but oh, right, and World Lymphedema Day tomorrow. So wear your teal colors, light up the world, show your advocacy, and here we go, community. We're going to do this. Thanks, everyone, for attending today.